All right. Hi, over here. Um, it's kind of been a while, I guess. So my daughter is now 3 months old. So with any luck, I should be able to lead start next league, which is 3.20, uh, the Forbidden Sanctum. So I'm going to briefly run through the patch notes to give you my general impression of the new league changes. And then also, if possible, I'll talk about what I think are good league starter builds, and what I would probably look for in a league starter. First things first, a lot of the balance changes regarding the difficulty of the game has made the game easier than 3.19. So what I mean to say is that this league is going to be a lot, I wouldn't say a lot easier, but it should be easier than 3.19, 3.18. And as a result, that gives you more flexibility on your league start. It gives you better progression for off meta build and for things that would have normally not been played previously. I think the changes to Spectral Helix and Lightning Strike were warranted because these were too strong. Like these skills were too strong. It also kind of baffles me as to why Seismic Trap wasn't nerfed and it was buffed. So that's a bit weird, but I expect quite a few players to start Seismic Trap for that reason. So yeah, curse changes I think were good because curses felt. I mean, curse on hit felt pretty mandatory. You always wanted at least one curse of your choice. This gives you, basically you have to do a different kind of trade-off. You have to ask yourself if you want to have a curse socket in your gems and you have to self-cast it, or use Arcanist Brand to trigger it. Or yeah, you just manually cast it. So I think the curse changes are good. I don't think there's a problem with that. I do wish they had more effect on bosses because I think bosses like curses being bad on bosses felt really bad. But that's fine. Okay. Uh, I think generally, oh yeah. So I would say that if you look at this particular league, what you're going to see is this is technically the best time for you to do a strike league. Uh, I mean, it was 2 leagues ago, was it 3.18? When I was looking at 3.19, I said it would be nice if they made 3.19 a strike league because strike skills have been, other than lightning strike, has been historically underplayed. Um, they haven't really had good time in the meta because melee is just generally bad. So strikes being buffed in the fact that you have melee splash on your on the passive three as a mastery is great. Uh, and the additional strike chance as a mastery I think is great as well. It gives you more flexibility. Is it? I'm not sure. I think it gives you more flexibility in that you don't have to path to a specific area, which is Tribal Fury. So yeah, I would definitely look forward to next league as a strike skill league. Um, that being said, there are still pretty strong builds that come from 3.19 that haven't really been touched in 3.20. For example, I think Ignite is still really strong. League starting Ignite, Wave of Conviction into Vortex, or Wave of Conviction into EK, Gloomfang, or Wave of Conviction into Death Wish, which is the more mischief minion health scaling Ignite build on Elementalist. All these three options are really strong for Ignite. And I think Ignite will just do well because you're gonna scale it pretty easily, and you're gonna do at least once you hit about a 2 million damage, you're gonna feel like maps are super fast, and then you eventually scale to like something like a 10 mil to possibly 20 mil on EK at the very late game. But that being said, although I was kind of tempted to league start Ignite because of how easy it is, I do kind of want to go back to playing something melee. Not because I want to challenge. It's just I think melee is just the kind of playstyle I like the most. I really like playing Bone Shatter, even though Bone Shatter isn't that good compared to like the more meta skills. So yeah, I think Poison is still going to be strong because you always can league start Poison Concoction. and then you scale into something like poison spells, or you scale into stuff like even right now Voltaxic Rift, you can go Storm Rain, I think, and then you just stack poison like crazy. But I think the Voltaxic Rift is just too expensive for me that I wouldn't want to league start with it. You can definitely do Venjaya with what's that claw called again? Wasp Nest, yeah. You can do Venom Giant, Wasp Nest, and go into Covenant. You don't have to scale crit to do decent damage. You don't have to rely on Nightblade, so that's alright. You do the Pathfinder or Trickster. Trickster builds are still strong because Trickster is just a strong ascendancy right now. So you can go quick Trickster, you can go Cold Dark Trickster, you can go into like um yeah, Cold Dark Trickster, Poison Trickster. Yeah. I think the biggest losers of this patch are in terms of ascendancies. Like I think our cultist got slightly nerfed. Uh right, yeah, not really slightly. It get probably got the biggest nerf. I think Inquisitor is still strong. Um and I think people will still play Trickster and Sabo and Raider, especially League Start. Raider is good because of the speed. Uh I think Shield Crush is still strong. I think Shield Crush is really strong. And Shield skills are still strong just because of Emperor's Vigilance. Um, so a Shield Crush, Trickster, Ellie conversion for Trickster. Or Inquisitor Shield Crush is still strong. Berserker Shield Crush is still insanely strong. You can do Champion Shield Crush as well. Berserker and Champ will do Impale. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty sure like these builds will still be super strong. I think low key, I think Berserker got a buff because they're moving one Berserker and sorry, Inquisitor got a buff because they are moving one reservation mastery next to Scion, I think. And that also means that Scion technically also gets a buff that way. Uh yeah. So I was deciding for Leaks, I was deciding between Ignite, and then deciding how I want to scale it. So I was thinking maybe EK or more Mischief, but then I really wanted to do a strike skill, so that meant that I had to play either Ranger, Duelist, or Ranger Duelist, Inquisitor, or uh, Berserker, and then I decided like I really want to try Glacial Hammer. Mainly because Heat Shiver looks super cool with it. And I think there are really cheap ways to scale damage early. So I have a pretty nice POB. I won't say nice, but it should see about 1 mil DPS, like just entering maps. Not just entering maps. I think like okay, yeah, just entering maps, I think you'll see like 800k to 1 mil DPS on that build, which I think is insane for like any character that just enters maps. And because of melee splash getting inbuilt into the passive tree, it means Glacial Hammer with melee splash, you have access to extra strike targets pretty easily as well. So I really want to play Glacial Hammer uh, for the next league, and with Glacial Hammer, there are like multiple options when it comes to scaling. For multiple sentences when it comes to playing it. But I do feel that either Inquisitor or Berserker would be a good bet for me. I don't want to play Duelist again because it means I'll have to play Champion, I think. So I'm deciding to go like probably Berserker. Inquisitor is I looked at the POV numbers, Inquisitor does less damage, but comparative scaling at the end game with Berserker, just Berserker is just strong for damage all the way through. With the Arch Nemesis nerfs, I am not really as concerned about survivability as I was lastly. Lastly, my Trickster was super tanky for the reason that Arch Nemesis was just so hostile for characters. But I think this league, because Arch Nemesis got nerfed, you're just going to need less of a tanky character and more of a fast moving, hard hitting character that will clear content for you quick. So I'm thinking Berserker for that reason. So more likely than not, I'll go Berserker and I'll go Glacial Hammer. It will the items I'm looking for in the build will cost me less than like 10 chaos total, I think. So if I need to, I'll just go heist and just farm some chaos a bit. Get the uniques I need, and then just start blasting all over the maps. Yeah. So I'm looking like maybe about, let me check. I won't show you the POV because I don't want other people to play this, but I'll be looking at close to 170k DPS at level 50 something. And then I'll probably hit about 800k DPS at around 70. Um, no, actually, probably 600, 600k at level 70, assuming I get a 5 link, I think. And then I get all the, I get Cruel Lab. Was it Cruel Lab? Well, Merciless Lab, sorry. Yeah. What else is there? Nothing much, I guess. I had, I'll tell you about what are the other builds I was thinking about. I think I really want to play Sabo, but I think Sabo will just be popular next week, and that means you're just gonna compete everyone with the same bloody gear. So that was the reason why I didn't want Sabo. I wanted to do Raider because I thought I could transition if I was going for a bow build or even a Void Forge build, Raider would be cool, and then you just transition to Pathfinder if you're going Voltaxic Rift. But I figured that Voltaxic would just be too rare, and then trying to build around it is just gonna be a pain because you just have to farm like crazy for it, and it's not worth it, I feel. Yeah. So actually, fuck it. I'm just gonna show you my POV because otherwise, like, what's the point, right? Let's see if I can find the POV. So this is what the tree will look like at level 54. 54. So this is only just with like these 4 points added. Um, I haven't really thought about how I want to scale it. I mean, I've done a POB, I've just scrapped it, as in I didn't really save it. But if I pop like elsewhere, I should get about I think 3.5 to 4k life. And actually, no, I will get about 5k life plus with all my rare items. Like all rares are good rolls, and then I'll have like 5k, 5.6k plus life and probably about 800 to 1 mil DPS. This will be a pretty fast character. You've got insane movement speed. You've got a very high attack rate, and you've got like a box load of damage. So Glacial Hammer, as you can tell right now, I'm doing it on a full link. I haven't taken the last two boxes, so this is a full link Glacial Hammer. I like, and if you look at this, there's only like Hatred, Determination, Harrow Ice, Berserk is on, but uh, this will be up permanently when I have Calm Spirit, I think. Vow Molten Shell. Enduring Cry is just for regen. With what's this called again? Cold Arms. And that's about it. Alright, so what else is there? Okay, so this is the uniques. This is the uniques I'm talking about. Frost Breath is like 1C at least. Heat Shiver is like 5, I think. Maybe it'll be 6. This is really not that popular, to be honest. Because getting freeze on a target is, or rather a long duration freeze on a target is actually pretty hard. So that's why I don't think most people are going Heat Shiver. At least I hope this will be 3 or 4 chaos. But if not, I can just wait for a bit longer and get it to like get it maybe at like 5 chaos until latest. To sell your sign, 1 chaos at least start. You can get insane amount of flat that gets doubled by Frost Breath. Um, Halcyon is not cheap. I thought it was cool and I was thinking of if it was possible to get this, and I realized it was a tool drop. Because it's a tool drop, and not like see it cheap at the league start, so I've taken this out. Southbound is like super good for this because you get like double. So if I don't go a Calm Spirit, which may be a lot very expensive, Calm Spirit may be super expensive, and I don't really have that much regen to make it worthwhile. So maybe I don't need Calm Spirit. But Southbound is nice just because you get 100% increased duration, freeze duration, which is insane, right? Because if you get like even the lowest roll of freeze, that's gonna be 0.6 seconds of freeze. if you get a pretty decent freeze chance, freeze roll, or freeze hit, a hit that freezes, um, this this basically doubles the duration, right? So I think this is cool. I would definitely go Southbound or Pain Seekers, but Southbound is cool. The rest is just gonna be res that just deals with your resistances. Um, I could also look at getting Resh Kalos. Is it Resh? Resh Kaldor's Patience. All right, I can probably also go Resh Kaldor's Patience if I don't have enough freeze chance. I think this is nice as well. Um, yeah. What do you mean variants? There's a variant? Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Rush Call's Patience is nice if you don't want to max out freeze chance, so you can just drop it on your skill tree. It also means you don't have to go something like Hypothermia. You can like just drop Hypothermia and get another damage ability. So I'm definitely considering Rush Calls as well. Um, but it is I mean, it is level 48. Hmm, good point. I might just go with this actually. Gives you life to it. I just don't like the reduced duration of elemental ailments, right? Because you want a longer fuse duration. I mean, you do have cell bounds, so that's 100%. But reduced duration of elemental ailments is like, I mean, it does override each other. Anyway, so this is generally what I'm gonna look for. Uh, then the rest should just be rare. So body armor rares, shield are rare, boots rare, belt rare, and mostly just to get rid of the resistances up to like at least capped lightning, capped fire, and capped cold. Chaos can be like 0. But yeah. And then Floss is pretty straightforward, just defensive Floss. Um, Eventually, what you're gonna do is you're gonna path and get like you also want the ruthless hits, right? And then you get life here. You can even get resistances here if you want. I think the reservation notables are gonna be here, so that's cool too. You can go here. Um, and then max res is nice. You can go here and get max res as well with armor. Uh, get a lot to life. Um, yeah, and then you get this as well. Yeah, galvanic hammer. So right now this is a non-crit build because scaling crit and accuracy is going to be hard at least start. So you can resolute techniques, which means you can't crit. You're relying solely on something like rash Galdors or just base crit chance, base freeze chance, so you just get your freezes up. But eventually, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop resolute. You're gonna get all the crit nodes. Either you continue with Frost Breath, or you get a decent Kara Receptor, or you like just unspec out of this and just go for Staff Crit. So it'll be here and here. Yeah. But before that, yeah, you have no choice. You go this route. What else is there? Nothing much, to be honest. Well, hope you enjoyed this brief league starter video. I don't think I'm adding a lot of value. I'm just bouncing my thoughts off and just recording this for posterity. It's just for me to remember what I want to league start with. Yeah. All right. Okay. What else is there? Do I want to go through the? I don't want to go through the shit in detail. Uh, Most of it's just blah blah blah, right? Yeah, everything is just boring. Like it's just minor changes, I think. There is going to be like yeah, so the strike change thing. Skill tree with additional strike to the attack mastery. Yeah. Yeah. So uh this is actually like because of what was it? Flicker? Because of Flicker Strike, like Valve Flicker Strike, I honestly feel like this is the best league to actually do Flicker. An unironic league starter Flicker. But then you want to probably start Raider, right? I don't think you want to start Flicker on any other character. You start Flicker on Raider, and then you just go like Terminus Estos or Oro Sacrifice. Yeah, that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm out. Peace. I will see you guys at League Start as well, yeah?